First of all, for you, do you at all have to practice your diction, and have you done that over the years, or is this your are you?
It is my natural voice.
You're dialed in. This is what you were from the beginning. You were raised with this kind of diction.
No, what happened was yes and no. I realized all my friends in Brooklyn sound like jerk-offs when I was young, and I did not want to sound like that.
In high school, his nickname was Walter Cronkite.
Yes, because I went to high school in the 50s. But for sure, then people just would always say that I do pronounce words. Well, like I ended up doing an ESL book for some company just because I was talking to somebody and they approached me for that.
Yeah.
So it just is.
As someone who has bad diction and I sound like the opposite of you. I've always like admire that.
It's not. I'm not putting a conscious thought into pronouncing words correctly.
Yeah.
If that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
No. It is what it is.
And I remember the first time I saw you. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I remember started going. I used to go to the Cellar to watch comedy. In 90. I want to say 96. Were you there then?
I don't know if I was there in
96,
96.
98?
I think a little later. Could have been. I could have. Yeah.
Because
maybe.
I saw you a long time ago there.
Yeah, sure,
and one of the things that stood out to me was your stage presence and the way that you speak, which is also you're very like you seem like immediately effortlessly like very cool, especially your stage, the way you kind of like move and talk on stage. So you were very memorable when I saw you.
I appreciate that,
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah, I'm so ashamed of so many of the bits that I've done, that I lived out on stage. Pretended were good and they weren't.
I somewhere have my first mic breaks on radio. I have on tape somewhere, but I have to find them. There, but I did record my first time in radio, which I had that forever. Did you record your early stand-ups, or you don't have those anymore?
If I did, I'd burn them.
I probably have some old stuff, but
because you did improv stuff before you did stand-up, right? I mean, I
did stand-up a little bit out of college, and then I started doing sketch and improv, and then I got some writing gigs and did some sketch shows and stuff like that, and then I started doing stand-up again, probably. I don't even know. What year are we in for real?
2025.
Okay. Maybe 2012?
2012.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I think I saw that it was good training for Impractical Jokers because you guys would do sketch, videotape it, watch it, and comment on it, which is basically the show anyway.
Sure.
Right? That's kind of what the show is.
Yeah.
So when the premise that you guys kind of made up on the fly took off,
yeah, who knew?
you guys were already like it wasn't like you had to learn how to do that. You guys were already doing.
Yeah, we kind of like we had a lot of fails and a lot of things we pitched and tried to do and it all failed. But that one we're getting up there. We're like 34, 33, 34, 35. I'm 48 now.
Right.
And we were just like we want to do something that can showcase like kind of us and not just like where we could showcase our friendship and stuff. And also just kind of like improvise. Right. And so that's what just the guy we backed into the idea from that like kind of wanted to do.
And stand up is lonely too, isn't it?
Stand up, I like
your experience of it. Is it?
Yeah.
It's different than working with people.
You could be
right?
you look back and he's just crying immediately. He's like, yeah.
No, I've been I've been on television shows, and it's very different working with a group of people during the day as opposed to.
It's completely different. I mean, I like the sort of like autonomy of it and stuff.
Yeah. I like aspects of it. Sure.
But this. Side on a hotel on the side of a highway.
It's tough psychologically, even if you're not on the side of a highway, even if you're in a nice place. It's a weird thing.
Nice helps a little.
Oh, it helps.
Right?
Definitely. Yeah, way better.
Sometimes you're in these like places, or like you ever go to a city that's just very drab and like every building is like gray or tan.
Well, you were doing that on your Instagram for a while. You'd post like a disgusting view. And it's like, welcome to wherever the it was, right? Yeah. That was the thing for a while. But also, I think because it took you guys a decade of trying where you just truly appreciated it because it was failed thing after failed thing with you guys. And then I think you even gave up and then it came back again. Like it was a real arduous journey to get that show on the air, right?
Yeah. I mean, my first stage was like March 2000. It was the first time I'm on stage. And then we got the show 11 years later. So.
It was that curious.
Wow. What's that?
No, it was greenlit at MTV first, but then you went to True TV, and then they took it, right?
MTV and True TV both offered to take it, but MTV wanted to make it into a strip game show, which is like Monday to like 5 like every day, and they wanted there to be a rotating cast of comedians giving stuff to contestants competing for money. So they took our idea and they wanted to morph it. And we didn't want to do that because we were like, well, the whole point would be that they like our character and come back to watch us compete. And like, also like we've known each other for like 30, so, and then they did that show anyway, actually.
What was that show?
It was called Money from Strangers. And it lasted a couple seasons. But I think ours might have come out first, and then people like felt like it was an adjacent kind of knockoff, which I guess it was.
How long were you guys on?
On the air?
Yeah, the whole time.
Well, the show began December 2011, and it's airing now. I started filming season 12 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I thought you guys. Okay.
So
wow,
it's got to be weird.
Run,
it's crazy. Right? The season 11 finale was Thursday.
Wow, that's great.
Because now people grew up on the show, right? So there are people that have been following you. They were 15, now they're 26 or whatever, and they just know you their whole lives.
Dude, 8. Coming to me 21, being like, I watched, my whole family watched, and now they're just they have expendable income for the first time, and they're of age, and a lot of people are like, this is my first comedy show ever I'm going to. Like,
that's
it's like,
wild.
I never thought of that, like this influx of kids that are now adults. Like,
I just remember we brought this up on the show once or twice, but my old stupid modeling thing, Bronzo Sensuality, right? And
you model like a bronzer,
carrot oil suntanning oil, right? And then you took it from my house, and like months later said, "Make sure you watch the show tonight," and it was on in the background, right? But a girl that I used to date went to an Impractical Jokers Tenderloins live show and held up a giant poster of that.
Did I catch it?
You catched it.
Okay,
You caught it. Yeah, that's pretty funny. It's so ridiculous, though. That was really ridiculous.
It's so funny that you did a carrot bronzing.
Yeah, it's really embarrassing. Yeah. But I was 21, so I'll allow it. Do you remember the
He's
first?
Not embarrassed by it at all.
No, not even a little bit. There it is. Look,
he goes, and he's bringing it up gratuitously. He's like, "Will you add that thing on?" And then it's back to him.
Look at that. There I am. Look how cute I was.
Yeah.
Sexy.
I mean, it looks like the cover of a romance novel.
Yeah. Well, try not to get too turned on.
So. A fall in love and Bronzo Sensual Carol and fall in love with Journey to the sensuous world of Bronzo Sensual Carrot Oil and fall in love with South Beach's new tanning sensation.
It feels like that's me, the new tanning sensation.
So was the carrot oil local?
I think it was a Miami brand.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the concept. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know.
It depends on where the guy he was sucking off was located.
Yeah. Wherever he came with me, that was where the sensation
by
was.
local. Wherever they ended up in their car, it was local.
Stupid question. To get back to that, why is it when you're touring with the guys, you always make sure it's called the Tenderloins? Is that a legal reason?
No. You know what it is? We in the beginning, we had the name of our comedy troupe. We were doing shows and stuff for a decade. Right. And so when the show started, we didn't know how long the show was going to last. And we wanted to try to hold on to the identity we built prior to the show. Because if it ended in a season or 2 seasons, then, we didn't want our identity to shift to something that was going to expire, essentially. Which now it makes no sense, now that it's come this far.
But it always seems to be worked into the title. It's even, I think, the Cruise mentioned it or something, right? Like it always.
It may have been. I think that's nowadays we don't even really.
Do it anymore. Okay. Yeah. Were there dumb names of the show before it settled on Impractical Jokers?
I think Impractical Jokers is a horrific name. It's not a great name.
No, but what were some of the other names that you were batting around?
So when we pitched the idea, I don't want to take up everything about this. And
you know that Dove is my co-host now. I don't know if you know that.
Oh no, because you told me I was going to come into co-host. So
did I? No, that was a long time ago.
That's why I asked you before. Anything I should know today? And then I go to him. Are you going to be joining us?
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Because you told me I need a co-host.
Yeah, but that was like 3-4 months ago.
But you never changed that narrative. So
that's really
meanwhile,
funny.
I'm asking the co-host if he's joining today. I'm so sorry.
No.